So one of the recent comments I got from you guys was about procrastination. I know watching this channel can even be a form of procrastination for some of you guys, since you love binging these amazing videos and seeing my beautiful face pretending to be productive. But today let's talk about the steps you can take to actually lock in. The comment I specifically got was about consuming the info before the act. Essentially, what I think they're trying to say is that they spend hours and hours researching the content without actually taking action. And I think that's pretty common amongst content creators. It's very easy to sit there and watch every possible video about YouTube growth and strategy, but you know what's actually equally important? Actually making those videos. So it's very important to break out of this procrastination cycle. But first, make sure to like and subscribe for more content creation tips and tricks, and give this video a hype as well. It would be appreciated. I don't know why I have my thumbs up like this, but please. Let's begin with the science behind this. Procrastination isn't necessarily laziness. It can just be a fear that the video you produce won't live up to the vision in your head. You can also see other creators' success stories and lose the motivation to make content, but you need to break out of that mentality, guys. Essentially, it's a survival instinct. Our brains view putting ourselves out there as a social risk. If the video fails or people leave hate comments, our brain takes that as a threat to our status in the tribe. I actually mentioned this in a dedicated video I recently made about negativity bias and how to overcome the hate we see online, which you can check out in the iCard above. Honestly, for me, I think the easiest way to break procrastination is to break down the task. Begin by only committing to 10 minutes of work. Overcoming that static friction of starting is what's key. And so if, for example, the concept of scripting a video is daunting to you, then just give yourself 10 minutes to write an outline. Doing an outline in 10 minutes is much less daunting than writing a complete script. And step by step, you can work your way to your first draft. Timing activities in general is quite useful for procrastination because a big part of the hesitation is that it feels like it's going to take forever to complete. You might think it will take hours to complete the script, but when you time it and realize it only takes you 30 minutes to write the first draft, the dread is no longer there. The ideal scenario is that you lose the dread and just implement writing a script or filming a video into a regular schedule. And then at that point you're used to doing it and there's no longer any friction. Wow! Coming back to scripts, you also have to keep in mind your first draft is going to be terrible, and that's not a bad thing. That's why they call it a first draft. You can't rectify something that doesn't exist in the first place, so go ahead and just vomit whatever you want on a Word document, because eventually, after refining it, it will become a better script. This goes for all parts of the content creation process, including the final output. You can think the video you just made is absolutely terrible, even though you spent hours editing it, but remember, you won't be a YouTube mastermind overnight. This is a pretty famous quote at this point, but Mr. Beast has said, your first 100 videos are gonna be garbage, so get them out of the way, learn from them, and eventually you will improve as a content creator. You just have to click record. Oh no, I just said the tagline from our arch nemesis Think Media. How could I? But jokes aside, growth is experimental, not linear. In the beginning, effort is high and results are low. That's just the honest truth. You have to keep grinding in the hopes your channel will eventually make it. And instead of trying to make one perfect video, just aim to make each video 1% better than the last. The Pomodoro technique is also great, where you can actually spend 25 minutes dedicated to one task and then give yourself a 5-minute break. This works wonders because 25 minutes is digestible and less of a slog. Breaking up the day with, let's say, 8 Pomodoros helps the task feel less overwhelming. Let's take editing for example. I hate editing for hours, and so you could break up the A-roll, which is the main footage, B-roll, which is the additional footage that's overlaid on top, and then polish. And then you probably get through the editing process much quicker if you did it in short bursts. So spend 25 minutes on the A-roll, then a 5-minute breather, spend another 25 minutes finishing it off, then a 5-minute breather, and then get to B-roll, etc, etc. You also have to keep the stakes in mind. Every day you spend procrastinating is a day the audience starts to forget your brand. Every video posted is a potential connection, lead, or community member lost to a creator who did hit record. So basically, every time you hesitate, there are opportunities you could have got. So remind yourself of that and basically scare yourself into making content. Another good way to motivate yourself is why and who. So First, figure out the why. Why are you on YouTube? Are you trying to make this a side income or inspire people with a particular message? Be clear on the purpose, and that will motivate you to make content. If you feel strongly about turning this into a side hustle, then you know that posting increases the chances of monetization and brand deals. Similarly, if you have a powerful message to say, then you have to keep making videos to drive your point home and expand your reach. You should also figure out the who. You cannot reach everybody, let's be realistic. Narrowing your focus down to a specific niche is what actually drives growth. So keep that in mind. Make the creation process easier for you as well. If there are hurdles in the way from you making content, you're more likely to never make videos. That's where systems come into place. Yay! I love myself some systems, guys. These are structured workflows to make production consistent, repeatable, and scalable rather than reactive. The first thing I would recommend is having a ready-to-go environment. If you spend half an hour setting up lights and a tripod every time, you're definitely going to procrastinate because that adds friction. So instead, if possible, have a setup where you can easily start recording when you feel like it. You then dedicate specific days to specific activities, spend Monday only on outlining, Tuesday on filming, Wednesday on editing, etc. And this helps you integrate content creation into your regular schedule. Accountability is a big way to beat procrastination as well, because when there's someone checking on you and hoping you will make that video, you don't want to disappoint them. Now, I'll be honest, with content creation, this might be harder to do because you can't really have a friend sit with you as you're recording or editing, but you can have them on a call. And if you don't have friends, which I of course can't relate to, you can use an app called Focusmate. Essentially, you meet someone who has a task to do, and then you guys both do that task separately with cameras on but muted. This is probably the best thing to do as a content creator. You can be accountable without disturbing the person next to you. A change of location can also help you beat procrastination. For example, many who have exams like to study in a library, and so similar to that, creating a different environment that's not your home or bedroom could help you as well. That's why we created Elevate Studios. You see, beyond just procrastination, people don't always have the space or resources to record at home, or they may struggle with the technical aspect to content creation. That's why we let people actually come to our studio and rent this place. You bring the ideas, we bring the tools. Book a session now. Ultimately, YouTube is like skydiving. There is no jumping out of a plane halfway. The fear of being judged or failing is valid, but the best time to get started is right now. So stop watching this video right now and get to work. I'm serious, I'm waiting. I'm gonna wait here till you start record. Have you clicked record? Let me know in the comments below, what is the best way for you to overcome procrastination? And if you made it to the end, put the words camel down below. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content creation advice. And remember to keep elevating.